So today you're running, your company McGaw.io, which essentially is a marketing technology agency. Tell me how you got into that and some of the challenges you've had and what you exactly do. So maybe just tell us initially how you got into it and then what the company does in terms of primary
Yeah.
focus.
So this company was completely started by accident. I never wanted to start this company, never tried to start this company. I was head of marketing at a company called Kissmetrics. So I was running another startup of my own, and then was of course working at some companies to make ends meet. When I left Kissmetrics, I went back to running my other startup, which was called Fuelsy. It was a gas app. I had been running that company for about 4 years. We were coming up towards Christmas, and my wife loves Christmas. Christmas is huge in our house. We have 3 sons. My wife's like, listen, your investors don't pay us enough money to really have a good Christmas. So I need you to go do some consulting and figure out how you're going to make some extra money to buy Christmas presents. And I was like, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
At the time, I was working out of a co-working space. I was the ambassador at this co-working space. Naturally, I'm one of the big entrepreneurs here in Orlando. So I was working at this co-working space, kind of turned around. I was like, hey, I'm going to do 10 hours a week of consulting. Let me know if you know anybody that's interested. I'm only doing 10 hours a week for like the next 2 months. Just doing it for Christmas. And I immediately had somebody say, I think I know somebody who wants to talk to you. Like, all right, whatever, we'll do lunch. And within 2 hours, I had met a company called Power Details that then said, we'll take all 10 hours a week. Like, we'll take you right now. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. So because I had told a couple of people, word got around that I was doing consulting. And I'm a fairly well-known person in Orlando I should say, when I was active in the ecosystem here. So a lot of people heard that I was getting into consulting. And next thing I know, I started doing that one consulting gig. Another consulting gig came to me and said, hey, listen, we'll pay you $10,000 a month to do this. And I was like, okay, but like, I got to figure this out. So I started taking on some of these clients just in expecting to do something till Christmas and then kind of move on. Hired a few of my friends just to help with some of the contracting stuff and be able to take in that cash. And I was like, great, this is turning out good. Well, it continued to happen for the next 2 months. So like we get to December, next thing I know, I have a company come to me like, we'll pay you $25,000 a month. We want you to run this brand. And it's like, what? And it just kind of was like this really big shock. And then another company came and then another company came and it continued to grow to the point where I was at like $40,000 a month in revenue come January. And my wife was like, what's going on? Like, are we going to choose Fuelsy, which I already had and I had investors? Or are we going to choose this other thing? And I said, honestly, let's choose this other thing. And we'll try to fund Fuelsy with the capital to try to keep that brand going. We didn't have, for the consulting company, we didn't have a brand. We didn't have a logo. We didn't have a company name. We didn't have a website. We just had, I'm Dan McGaw, I'm doing some consulting. To do it, I had to funnel money through my friend's agency. And I had to I literally had checks cut to them. They would process the money. They would then pay the contractor. So that way we could do some things legit. And then we said, hey, let's form a partnership with some other people. Didn't know what we were going to call it. We were just taking clients and running it under this other name. People knew it was me though. And then in February 2015, which was only 3 months after this all started, we decided, hey, we should probably do this. In a matter of 2 weeks, we had rented an office. We had started making some hiring. At this point, we still did not have a company name. We could not figure it out. I knew I wanted to have something that said the word amazing because that's just my personality. That's everything I stand for is like, hey, life's amazing. And we were watching a TV show late at night, my wife and I, and this is a story that's on our blog now because we just rebranded from the old company name. She saw a TV show called Effin' Science. And my wife was like, haha, you should call it Effin' Amazing. And I was like, oh my God, you just said the best name ever. Like that's totally what we're going to name the company. And February 2015, we became Effin' Amazing. We were known as Effin' Amazing as the agency up until May 2020. We just rebranded as McGaw.io. Naturally, Effin' Amazing is not very appropriate, but it worked well for us. But that's how the company got started. And I think for the first 2 years, we really didn't know what we were doing, why we were doing it, what we were doing it for. And we had a lot of problems. I mean, we just went out of business 2 years in a row just because we didn't understand the cycle of business that we were going to have. And natural just entrepreneur stuff. But in the beginning, we were an analytics and marketing firm with a backbone in analytics. And then naturally over time, we ended up becoming a marketing technology and marketing analytics firm. And we specialize in the stack. But like a lot of people set out with like this vision and like this plan. And out of all my companies, I had a vision, I had a plan. This was the company where I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And it just happened. And it keeps happening. I mean, so far now we have 13 full-time employees. We have another company that we own that has its own 5 employees. So like, it just happened.